Hello, my name's Antonio and welcome to another Voice of the Voiceless, the series where we give a voice to young people trying to make the world a better place. So, last week we were talking to Daniel Cooper about the Students' Tenants Union, and this week we're with Rose from Transition Heathrow to talk about the housing crisis, squatting and the Grow Heathrow project. I'm here at Grow Heathrow, the site, and I'm here with one of the squatters, Rosie. Thank you for taking time out of your busy days. It seems like a lot is going on here at Grow Heathrow. Tell me a little bit more about the site.
Well, so this site is called Grow Heathrow, but it's part of the bigger project, Transition Heathrow, which is the whole kind of area in the wider community, and it's using the transition towns model, which is being used all over the world, really, and it's about communities organising together to meet their needs. So it's based around the idea of peak oil and community. So peak oil being the idea that we're using resources unsustainably and we need to kind of change the way we're doing things, and community is in these things are really big and we can't do them by ourselves, so we have to get together and do them in groups. This site and the project in Heathrow is important because it's helping to stop the village of Sipson from being knocked down. So 700 homes will be knocked down to build the third runway, and the community currently has faced years of blight from the airport and buying out people's homes. So this site where we are now would be tarmacked over, so we're trying to kind of save the area as well.
So I've seen quite a few people walk around this. How many people do you have here in the community?
Well, there's about 15 or so, give or take, who actually live here, but then there's all sorts of different layers of people. So there are kind of friends of the project who come all the time and visit and are involved in the projects and the working groups, and then there's local residents who have their own key and come all the time, and then there's all the people in the wider community. So there's all sorts of people coming in, and then there's people from projects far away in other countries that just turn up and stay for a bit. And yeah, it's great because it means there's a whole range of people here of all different ages, all different abilities, all different skills and knowledge, and kind of coming together to create a really diverse community.
Well, I must say, just having a little brief tour of the Grow Heathrow site here, it's very resourceful. There's a lot of things going on. Tell me a little bit more about the living conditions. I mean, it's a beautiful day today, so I mean, it's you know, a perfect setup for summer. But what happens like in the winter, for example?
Well, we obviously find ways to do the things we need to do. So, for example, our energy, we've got 2 wind turbines now, one that we built up there and then another one that we put up recently on our 3rd birthday, and we've got solar panels as well, and so that gives us all the energy that we need, so we're off grid and we don't have to pay the bills for energy. For heating, we use wood burners, so all the wood that we use is donated by a tree surgeon, and all their waste wood they have to pay to put into landfill, which is ridiculous. So instead they give it to us, and kind of that's a good deal for everyone. And you know, our food, we grow a lot of the food, and then we skip a lot of the food, which is where there's wasted food from supermarkets and places like that. Because things are past their sell by date, but they're still fine to eat, eating that instead of letting it go to waste.
The government are introducing to criminalise squatting. Is that going to affect you here at Grow Heathrow?
The new law doesn't affect us because the law is about residential properties and this isn't residential. Although we're not under threat of that, we are in the court process because this is a squat, and we are trying to negotiate with the owners to buy the land for a community land trust, but the negotiations have been quite hard. So we're currently waiting for a court update.
Why do you think squatting is good and it's an ethical option for young people?
Well, I mean, it's a really good thing because it's using kind of disused spaces and empty buildings for something positive and something constructive. This new law is claimed to be protecting homeowners, when actually that's not the case at all, because people who squat generally squat in empty buildings that aren't being used for anything anyway. So there's a common misconception that it's about going into people's homes, because it's not. It's about using spaces that are disused, which is a really positive thing.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Rosie, for talking to us today. It's very inspirational, and I think you're doing a great job here, so congratulations. Thank you. Well, I've had a great chat with Rose here at Transition Heathrow. You really need to come down here. I'm in absolute awe of the place. It's truly inspirational. Now, if you'd like any other issues covered here on the show, then you can email our producer, the email address found at the bottom of the screen. Don't forget to tune in next week for another Voice of the Voiceless with me, Antonio.